Hello, everybody out there in Roofball land. I'm Derek Weber, and this is Adam Willis, and here we are for the Roofball Federation of America podcast, episode 17 or 18. We'll see. I mean, actually, we know that it is 17, the 18th one recorded. Actually, 19 if you count zero. So the numbers don't matter, unlike in Roofball, where the numbers tend to matter a
They're
little
critical.
bit.
Yeah.
Without the numbers, it would just be people having fun, and we can't have that.
It's episode 3 pings and 2 catches.
Wait, is this the Roman numeral thing now? Excellent. Great.
We do have a very Roman numeral sport. I never thought about it before, but we definitely do have a very Roman numeral sport.
You know, we're going to get sidetracked right now. When you think of a Roman numeral, what comes into your mind?
I think V. I don't know why.
I think a 3.
Oh, you like the triple I?
I don't know if I like it. I'm just saying that's what comes to my mind.
You want to go super off the beaten track, and I think this might have been debunked, but I think it may be true. Why on clocks there's 4 I's and not IV?
Oh, I don't know.
Because IV is Jupiter, and it's seen as blasphemous.
Okay.
Yeah. How about
so
that?
I like how you introduced it. It may be debunked, but
yeah, this might be totally false.
I think
I'm not sure. At one point in my life, I knew this was true, but I'm wondering. I think I might have heard somewhere along the way that it's not. Anyway.
Fair enough. I think Rocky 3 is probably why. No, I'm just kidding. That's not.
That's a good film.
it's probably the best. That's not true. All right. So today we have a special guest, first time on not only the podcast, but first time being involved with Roofball. We're going to talk to John Hines. To my knowledge, not related to Gregory Hines, nor is an heir to the Heinz ketchup empire. We didn't ask those questions, so maybe. But probably pretty safe in saying no. But John is hosting a tournament. It is coming up real fast. We're recording this probably a little bit late, but that's what we had to do with timing. We're recording this on the 23rd of May. The tournament is on the 25th of May.
Coming up fast.
So we'll try to get this episode out quickly. I guess saving grace is this tournament being played on the 25th of May will not be live broadcast. It'll be tape delayed. So when it will be actually put on, I'm not 100% sure, which is similar for an exhibition tournament we have coming up, which you'll have to wait till next episode, probably episode 18, which will say 17 in it. It's already been pre-recorded, but that tournament will be happening in the Portland area in a couple weeks in early June. And then we have another tournament sandwiched in between those.
Yes, we
do.
In
Chicago, which is the second, iteration of that. Do you want to chat a little bit about that one coming up?
Yeah, and that one you'll be able to watch live. The guys with the Yak podcast, part of Barstool Sports, they're putting on a regional. Just basically, it's more of an invitational than a regional per se, but it's going to be outside of Chicago. They're playing with 11 of the guys from their shows, their universe, and the homeowner. And that's coming up next Thursday, Thursday the 30th. So check your local listings. Go to the Yaks YouTube and just stay tuned, because that's going to be, those guys have a great time. They had a great time last year. It's good production value. Get your personal bleep button ready if you're not into cursing, because they're going to do some of that, but it's also going to be really entertaining. So we're looking forward to watching that one.
Yeah, and you can again find that on the Barstool Yak YouTube channel.
YAK. Yeah.
YAK. Is there a different way of going with yak?
He could be a CK. I just want to, like spelled like the animal, but referring to talking.
Oh, I thought it was all. That's mostly what they talked about was the
just yaks.
Yeah, no, not quite. I wonder if they have ever actually talked about a yak.
Oh, that's a good question.
But today's episode is more about Western Michigan and the regional coming up here. We get introduced to John, a little bit about him, a little bit about how obviously he got involved in roofball, the community aspect of this.
Yep.
Not only is it he's new to roofball, a lot of the players will be, but there will be some roofball veterans there. Some of the folks you saw from last year's Livonia tournament, some of those folks are from Ohio who you've now seen in the last couple of majors.
A lot of tournaments, yeah.
U.S. Open. Last year's U.S. Open champion will be there. Jeff Chambers will be there, who's a runner-up in the U.S. Open last year, as well as a third place, I believe, in the most recent World Championship.
And Livonia champ.
Yeah, and Livonia champ. So definitely some recent roofball veterans will be there too. So we cover a lot of things. Interesting guy, John. Again, I don't know why I keep coming back to it, but the dude's 6'7", which I really want to watch. So as we get the taped, we say taped. It's not taped anymore. When we get the video
Recorded.
in,
Yeah.
yeah, recorded video in, we'll see what kind of editing we need to do, and then probably at that point we'll announce when it'll actually be broadcast or put up on the Roofball YouTube channel. When we do that, we will plan on having a premiere party so everybody can dive in and we can have some interaction there, semi kind of like it was live to an extent. So, uh, you know, we're going to it. I know you have some, I think, personal feelings about this tournament being, the first one that you're really not going to be part of. And I think that's, thank God I don't have to be there at all of them, but also there's that control that you have to give up. This is an interview for you right now. How are you feeling about that?
It's such a conflict of emotions. I mean, the idea that there are going to be 3 different roofball events in real time happening in the next basically 9 days, that I have not organized any of them. They're just happening because people are into roofball. That is incredibly uh, affirming is the only word I can think of right now. It's so much fun seeing that happen, and obviously on a long enough time scale and enough growth, there were going to be a lot of tournaments that happen without me maybe even knowing they were going on if it proliferates enough. But this is the first one. This is the first roofball tournament that we see as an official event that I will not be attending or playing in. And obviously the first broadcast type thing or even videoing of an event that I won't have some kind of hand in doing on site. So there's a separation anxiety part of it. There's some just generalized anxiety about, is this going to work? And so a need to let go and let people discover roofball and build something on their own. And so far, every time I've allowed that and like kind of detached, like in Livonia, where they just did stuff, it's, if anything, it's been better than I would have done, better than I would have thought of, because they know what's going to work for their own facility, et cetera. So that part's great. But I'll tell you, the thing that I keep kind of coming back to is the saddest part is me knowing that there's roofball being played and I don't get to play. Like, it's fun on tournament day. I have a lot of things that stress me out, but then when I actually throw a ball up on the roof, I'm like, oh, right, this is a fun thing to do. Like, that's why I keep doing this. Is I love throwing the ball at the roof. I love trying to hit that target. So knowing that somewhere in the world this game is being played and I don't get to play, that's probably the thing that's the biggest bummer. But like I said, like we've talked about before, eventually I gotta miss one and might as well be this one. So I'm going to be kind of sad on Saturday, but also very excited to know that there's 20, 30, 40 people sitting around in a backyard in Michigan playing roofball.
Saturday, if you're sitting there and you go to Roofball headquarters, Willis Park, and just start playing by yourself, I think we'll know
Oh, maybe I will.
why.
I may have to.
All right, let's welcome John. All right, here we are with John Hines. John, before we get to the roofball side of things, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you live, what do you do for a living, and do you have any type of athletic background?
Yeah. Um, I'm John Hines. Thanks, man. And I'm from Allendale, Michigan, but originally from Bourbonnais, Illinois. My wife and I, so I'm married. I've been married for going on 10 years to my
Wow.
wife, Helen, and together we have a daughter, a 7-year-old daughter named Sienna. And yeah, we've been out here in Allendale, Michigan. It's just right outside of Grand Rapids for the last 4 years. We came out here in 2020 because a little bit more about me. I took on a position at a church in 2020 when not much was happening in the world at that time. It was a pretty normal time in
Pretty
human
blasé.
history. Yeah, yeah, not a whole lot happening. And so yeah, took on a position as lead pastor of a church. But yeah, before that, we lived 45 minutes south Chicago in an area called Bourbonnais, Illinois, Kankakee County. Fun fact of Bourbonnais, Illinois, the Chicago Bears training camp was held there for around 10 years. In Olivet Nazarene, which was literally like less than a mile away from my old stomping grounds, my first home as a kid. So yeah, a little bit about me. Athletic background, semi-athletic. I got some hip issues now. I got knee problems, ankle problems, but semi-athletic background. Was never a star by any means in anything. We did play a lot of pickup baseball and basketball as a kid though. So I have that going for me, which I'm hoping bodes well for this coming Saturday. So, yeah.
Well, I
So
can
how
tell
often do
you,
you throw a football around?
I throw a football around not super often, but I was naturally just a really that was one of the stronger areas of my athletic abilities was like chucking a football. So by no means does that say much, but I can throw a football. Yeah.
I can
Well,
tell you in roofball company, bad knees, back, hips, you're right there. You're right with everybody else.
Come on. And just hyped up off aspirin, probably, right? Yeah. Yeah.
well, so tell us your roofball origin story. How'd you find roofball? What'd you like about it?
Yeah, Adam. I was probably doing what a lot of guys were doing. I was just scrolling YouTube one night, and I'd often watch like golf or something on YouTube. And on my algorithm or in my algorithm, this roof ball came up. And I thought to myself, roof ball? What in the world is that? And then I immediately started thinking, when I was a kid, I used to throw at a roof and catch the football. We had a backyard with a white building, an old white abandoned building, and it had a slanted roof. And I'd throw a football up there and pretend like I was Jerry Rice, with getting the game-winning catch. And I started watching and I was so intrigued by a bunch of, semi-athletic dudes like myself, throwing a football at an object on a roof. And I thought to myself, these this is my people. Like, these are like my type of guys and gals. And so I watched it. I sent that video out to like I don't know, a handful of dudes in our area out here, like have handful of like young adult slash, like 40-plus-year-old guys. And they were all like, dude, we're in. I was like, let's go. And so I found your email, I think, Adam, and I went on the website. And I was like, dude, I doubt this guy gets back to me. He's too busy signing autographs somewhere, probably. And so I reached out to you, and sure enough, I don't know if it was a day later or a few days later, Adam emailed me back, and I was like, dude, I can't believe we're going to do this thing. So
So that is a pretty big journey, right? From scrolling YouTube, watching, dozens, maybe hundreds of videos as they come by, catching up on this thing, watching however long you watched of it, getting excited, saying, "Hey, I used to do that," then sending it out to friends. By the way, thank you.
yeah.
And then deciding you wanted to host your own tournament, which is a whole nother level of commitment and involvement. Like, how did you get there? You mentioned a wife and kid earlier, where you're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
let's just throw this up on our roof. Nothing bad is going to happen."
Yeah, no, kind of exactly. And so I'm kind of like a go all in, like go for it type of dude. That's just kind of naturally who I am, I think, in my psyche. And so when I sent it out to my buddies, I was like, do you guys like if this guy gets back to us, would you guys be willing to like help and like let's do this? We could do it in my yard, maybe. I think in my initial email, I sent a picture of my backyard to Adam, like, hey, this is my backyard. Could we play roof ball back here? Like I need permission or something. And he emailed me back. He's like, yeah, that'd be great. So I asked my wife. I shouldn't say I told my wife. I don't want to get in trouble, but I asked my wife,
Good
I
call.
said, what do you think about us hosting? Maybe we'll have 20, 25. I don't know how many people back here. And we have a pretty big backyard. I said, what do you think about us hosting? She goes, great. I said, you want to sing the national anthem? Because she can sing. And she said, I'll think about it. So we still might record it, do a recording for Saturday instead. But maybe we'll be able to talk her into it. But yeah, so that's just kind of how it happened. You're just, kind of like anything else. You watch something really cool on YouTube and, show some buddies. And the next thing you know, you're hosting an event in your home. It's just natural progression for a lot of things in life.
Well, so yours, like most roofs in the world, does not have a perfectly set up roof ball target. So you built one. which I think is based on the Taylor Evans model that he made for Livonia last year. So tell us about that process. What was easier than you thought? What was harder than you thought? What was the construction?
I'll tell you, man, I'm a delegator. So I didn't build it at all.
All
So
right.
I got to shout out Josh Mast. He was one of the young adults who I sent it to, the original video. And he was one of the first to be like, I'm all in. Like, let me know how I can help. And I kind of have a pretty busy schedule in this season and in most seasons. And so I know when I'm busy to the max and I'm not a real carpentry guy or anything like that anyway. Not that you need to be one, I think, to build that apparatus, but he's like, I'll do it. I'll get all over it. So he started doing it and then brought it over to my home and needed to like adjust it a little bit once he got on the roof, which it's a pretty steep roof. And we found that out pretty quick when I'm like checking my home insurance policy to make sure we're all up to date while he's up there. And he got up there and just angled it just right, so it could be the right angle for when guys and gals are chucking at it. And so yeah, it was all him, man. And then like once it got up there and we got it close to the apex, he was like, how far away do you want to pull from the apex of the roof? And I'm like 2 feet-ish. Like, I don't know. We want to make it around really hard. I don't know. And so once it got up there, it was quick. We were quick to realize this is going to be really hard to get it around, if not near impossible. So, but we started chucking it and we realized just to get it to the pole, it's about a 20-yard chuck. I mean, it's a pretty good throw.
Right.
So it's going to be the lowest scoring game ever in roofball history. I guarantee it.
Well, it's funny you say that because currently the lowest scoring game has to be also played in Michigan. So now I'm thinking it's just Big 12 football.
That's right.
3 yards in a cloud of dirt there. Is that
Playing them and bang them, baby. Playing them and bang them, man.
It's Michigan, Ohio State, circa 1967. That kind of scoring. Yeah.
That's it, boys. Yeah, it's gonna be low scoring. It's hard to get a ping. It is hard. I don't know. We'll see. And these guys are coming from Metro Detroit. One guy's coming from Cleveland, Ohio. They're probably going to be just ballers, and I'll eat my words, which I'm great with. So that would be great.
So tell us a little bit more about the entire roof. So the target, it's going to be quite a long throw. You said a big backyard, but paint us a little bit of a picture of what the house roof looks like.
Yeah, so it's like a normal Western Michigan house. Have you ever been to West Michigan? So I'm in the basement now. So we got a basement, and right here you can see, that there's a window that goes straight, like level with the backyard. And then, the first level is way up there, and then the roof is steep to begin with, on top of that with attic. And so, and it's a big backyard. We probably have, I don't know, 10,000 square feet or whatever of grass back there. I have no idea. But it's probably about a third of an acre just in the backyard alone. And so it's a pretty big backyard, and yeah, we're gonna have some people are just gonna be hanging out, eating hot dogs, drinking cold ones, and watching a bunch of people act like kids. But yeah, it's the challenge is not only to hitting the target. The challenge is, again, the target is close to the apex, which means if you're going for the 5 or the 10er, you got a good shot of going over the roof. And then also when it's that high, it's a little tricky when it comes to getting the catch, because if you mistime a bounce and it bounces when you think it's not going to, then it's 5 feet behind you and you missed a point, and every point is really going to matter in a 10-round game. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Well, I think the key there is everyone be playing on the same surface. So, and these guys, like you say, the guys coming up from Ohio and from Detroit are Livonia, Michigan veterans. So they are used to a difficult, faraway target. Biggest thing that just words from the founder, usually there's a line you have to throw behind. That's all based on the difficulty. If it's going to be hard to throw from almost anywhere, people can throw from almost anywhere. So don't feel like you got to have that line people throw behind,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Good
I
call.
know.
Because if you get too close, you can't see the target anyway. And I'm
Yeah.
6'7". So, I mean, I got the best view of a target than anyway. But if you get too close, you just can't see the target. So it doesn't matter.
All right. So hypotheticalize with me here. Michigan has 2 regionals this year. We just found out there's going to be one in Illinois next week. There's one going to happen in outside of, where is it? Columbus. Almost forgot Columbus's name. And then the RFA Cup is also going to be in Ohio. That's more tournaments than they're going to be on the West Coast this year. Do you have any idea why the Midwest specifically seems to be so into roofball?
Dog. I mean, what did we do growing up? I mean, we did this thing. I mean, for us, it was backyard baseball. It was, pick up basketball at a local court or someone's driveway. It was chucking a ball on a roof and catching it. And just it kept us out of trouble, especially I'm an old millennial. But it kept us out of trouble as kids. And I think, man, I think it was Mama Willis. If I could so quote the amazing Mama Willis once said, "There's a kid in everyone, right? There's a kid in everyone." And I think that's why Midwestern boys and gals just love a little roof ball, man.
So I'm sorry, I got to go back to the previous answer. You just mentioned you're 6'7".
Yeah.
Adam, is that a record? Tallest roofball player ever?
Yeah.
That's a great question. It's got to be close. I can't think of anyone taller than that. Actually, I'm sorry, I should say that. Mike Liebler, who was nicknamed Stretch, he's 6'8".
Okay.
I think he's the record. I don't think we've had a 7-footer. I'd probably remember. But 6'7" is certainly right up there at the ceiling of roofball players ever.
No
I was
pun
thinking
intended.
Bruce from our last tournament from Canada.
Yeah,
but
Bruce is
he's
close.
6'5",
Bruce is close.
maybe. Yeah. All right.
We're drawing
Well,
the tall
John,
people
I
now.
kind of hope one day to play against you, just because I want to see what that is.
Yeah, it's nothing special. It's just a little clumsier and a little longer. Yeah, that's it.
Those long arms. It's like Randy
Yeah.
Johnson. When he was pitching, he wasn't pitching from 60 feet.
Yeah,
All right.
just tearing up pigeons.
Yeah.
So I want to throw a little caveat about the tournament itself. So we have some tournaments live broadcast and others tape delay. So this tournament is taking place on May 25th. Obviously at your house there. The tournament though won't be broadcast on that day. It'll be tape delayed. As soon as we have a better timeline, we'll let everybody know what that looks like. But for you, I mean, looking ahead to the tournament, knowing some of the players coming in specifically. Obviously, there's some more roofball veteran folks showing up as well. Do you have any insight? Do you want to throw any names out there that you think might do well?
Yeah, it was dangerous.
And then, of course, as the winner, at least the winner, I should say, will get an invite to the U.S. Open, where location has yet to be determined. But it would require some travel, no doubt. So I'm wondering if you think people will take that invite.
Yeah, I think they'd be crazy not to. I mean, if especially, even if it's not at Mama Willis's house, but anywhere, I think you can get a group of guys from all over the nation, especially the Midwest, together to compete at the highest level of athletics. Really, I mean, it's the highest level of all athletics. I think they'd be crazy not to say yes to that. And I know on our end anyway, we kind of encourage people like, hey, if you win, like this is what hopefully you're going to be saying yes to. In terms of names, here's my hope. Obviously, I want to win. I'm competing. I want to win. However, my hope is that we can at least get a homegrown guy here to at least get in the top 3. I know we got some gunslingers coming. I can tell from their emails back to me, these guys can throw. They just type in a certain way and you just know a guy can throw. I don't know what that means. But I'm hoping that there can be a guy out here or a gal that would throw or that would make it in the top 3. Here's what's interesting. This is what I love about roofball. Already I'm seeing it. It brings people together who would normally not come together. And so I shout out an invite to my neighborhood Facebook page. I just live in a normal neighborhood out here in Allendale, Michigan. And like 3 people immediately got back to me who I have no idea. I mean, they're a couple doors down, few doors down, one down the street. They're like, we're in. I'm like, this is awesome, because I'm normally a pretty crummy neighbor because I can be introverted, believe it or not. And I just kind of stick to myself, mow my own grass, get inside, hang out with my own family. And this roof ball is helping to bring people together who maybe normally wouldn't hang out together on a normal basis. And so I think that's a real cool thing about the sport. And I'm sure that's a part of the heart of Adam and you, Derek, and those who were in this from the very beginning. So.
Well, John, I really appreciate you saying that, and it's something that I really love about it too. Obviously, there's lots of things in the world that can divide people, and I was just looking around at the World Championships, and I tend to know people better than they know each other. And just seeing groupings, I was like, man, I don't know if those people would have met, hung out in any other walk of life, but they are here, and I love that so much about roofball. And I love, for all the fun that it's been playing in different places and traveling, and just, the ego boost of having a game I made up kind of take off. My favorite thing is definitely people that I've met and people that I've gotten to hang out with and play with and hear about their lives, et cetera. So I thank you so much for reaching out and for taking this to this level of putting a tournament on. I'm very happy to bring both you and the Grand Rapids area into the Roofball family, and officially part of Roofball Nation. So just thank you so much. I can't tell you, and I've told you already how much FOMO I have that I'm not going to be out there to watch and to play. But I'm hoping that you guys have an amazing tournament, and just thanks again, and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Adam, man. And I had your room ready. We had towels set up for you with your name inscripted on them. You'll never see those. We had it all set up. We had the red carpet rolled out for you. We're really bummed that you can't be here.
2025. I'll be there.
Come
for
on,
version
baby.
2.
Come on, baby. All right.
I mean, Adam, you didn't tell me you're just showing up randomly sometime this summer to hang out?
I'll just pop by in August. Say, hey, what's up? I'm just here to hang out.
Do it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, John. Ditto for everything Adam just said. For Adam Willis, I'm Derek Weber. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.